What's going on, Blender fans? I hope you're enjoying the series so far. I thought we'd continue on then and start to model the rest of the body, chest plate, whatnot. So, without further ado, let's go. I'm going to just drag this out, look like that. I'm going to change this to, I don't know if you know this, look, but any of these windows can be anything. That can be a 3D viewport if you want. You know what I mean? Anything can be anything, which I love about this. So I want this to be an image editor, and I'm going to drag in from my little bit of reference. That looks pretty cool. I want another one, so I'm going to drag that down and let me choose, I don't know, bear with me. Summit like that maybe? No, it's a bit low. How's about that? Yeah, that shows us a little bit of what's going down. Cool. So, we've already done the helmet. So scope this out. Let's hide all the references. Let's select everything with A. I'm just going to right click there. I'm going to add an empty. So I came from the world of Houdini. Well, I've dabbled in Houdini quite a bit, and I just tell you, this is a really neat way of working. So there's our empty. I'm going to select everything. Empty is still the active object. Control P. I'm going to parent it and keep the transform. So that in our outliner, look, empty dot helmet. So basically, whatever I do to that empty will do to all the children. In this case, his helmet. Cool. Right, let's hide that. Let's open the reference. We don't need the helmet reference anymore. We don't need the back. Let's go to the front. So all we're going to do in this video is model the chest plate, which is kind of like the front of a rib cage. And as you can see, it's an extremely complex form. So the whole point in this series is to break down said complex forms into their constituent parts, right? Simple parts. And if you remember earlier, if I just annotate, we talked about how to create meshes. So, oh my gosh, you kind of got things going in one direction, X, for argument's sake, don't want to get too complicated, and things going in another direction, like Y. So it's like a net, isn't it? You've got lines going this way, or edges in our case, and you've got lines going this way. And where they meet are your vertex. So that's why they have to have the same amount in each direction, same amount of vertex in each direction. Do you see what I mean? It's like a net. We're just making a net. Let's turn these bad boys on. So in our case, I'm looking at this line here, and I'm going to match it with, I don't know, about there. I'm looking at this line, I'm looking at this line. And then we'll have, let's call that Rx, and in our Y, we'll do that. And we'll try and match these nice lines here, go in that direction. And then in this direction, we'll just marry the contours. Something like that. Does that make sense? Let's see what happens. Let's rock and roll without further ado. So, put my cursor in the center of the screen with shift right click, add. Don't care what you add. I'm going to add a cube, doesn't matter. Tab into edit mode, into vertex with a 1, merge at center, There's our little dot. I want to make sure my dot is at the world 0 on the X. Extrude. And let's just get the real rough shape. How's that? Pretty damn cool, I'd say. So let's just, and then look, this is all it is, right? It's just moving it around. Y-axis. This is pretty flat at the front. So this will be GY. Pretty flat. Pretty close in this case. Remember me saying yesterday that they don't always line up, these reference images. We're artists. We just wing it, baby. And then there's a definite seam look about the halfway point. I have no idea where the halfway point is. We'll say about there. Coolio. Control 2 to add the subdiv. Or you can go and add it there. I'm going to turn that off so we're editing subdiv. Okay, don't worry that that's not quite marrying up, but we can sort that out. So let's take all that, duplicate with Shift D, Z, up we go, scale Z0, and let's just start messing with it. Don't worry about these little cutouts. We're looking at the big surfaces. Remember, we work big to small. Again, this doesn't even exist, but I'm looking through the surface to see what it is that's going on. All right. Always thinking in 3D. Seeing the form. Quite like it. Coolios. Now, so that's kind of our X-axis, isn't it? Kind of done. So let's think about the Y. So if I do that, and select F to join, that, and F to join. Let's think about this one. Let's subdivide it, I don't know, 4 times? I never know. Back into 1. Let's just start moving these around. Again, looking through the model, because we're going to cut this bit out. I'm just thinking, what is the shape? It's like a rib cage, right? Imagine in your mind what a rib cage looks like. Yes, and I do want all these as a seam. So because we did 4 on that one, go back into edge mode, select that, right click, subdivide, and we want it 4 times as well. For aforementioned reasons. Back into 1, and let's marry these babies up. Oh God. Oh God. So yeah, let's just think where that's gonna go. That to there, that to there, and that to there. Yeah, I quite like it. So let's just hit the special button, toggle local view mode. All right. What I'm going to do is select that because I know that is on the origin of the X. Shift S, cursor to selected, tab out into object mode, right click, convert to, no, set origin to 3D cursor. I'm always using the 3D cursor all the time. So there I can type in mirror before the subdiv, and that's it. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. So that's what we call a cage. In 3D Studio Max, if you remember that, showing my age, we used to model in splines all the time and then create patches. So back into our edit mode, select all. Have we got a corner vertex selected? Let's make sure corner vertex is selected. Magic tool. Oh my God. My washing cycle is complete. Look at that. How cool is that? Can you see on my... is this recording? I hope it is, yeah. Where's my mouse? Can you see this line going along here? Let's have a think about that, because that's kind of one... It's like a main shape, isn't it? X-ray mode not available. It is now. So that was, I suppose, would be that line there. Okay. Well, look, let's just cut it in with a knife tool. And in our image, it looks like it happens at the apex of that little turn there, which is there. So what I could do... Always put in what you want, not what you'd like to have. What would happen if we did this? It goes up to the top of the peg. Kind of like that. All my C-curves. Remember C-curves? C-curves. Always thinking in 3D. Yeah, okay, that's kind of working. This doesn't really work, so let's... Because I'm looking at my C curves going this way. Do you see I'm moving it using these little planes here to constrain them? It's always got to look good from every angle. Bit flatter, I think. It's a bit flatter. Let's go on to whatever that move's called. Yeah, I'd say looking pretty good. Nice one. So again, is the mesh balanced? Yeah, I suppose it is. I suppose it is. How's it looking in subdiv mode? So let's turn that button on. Let's just start pulling it around to make sure it matches the reference. Let's turn clipping on. Clipping is a great tool. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. By the way, don't worry about all these details. Big shapes, small shapes. So let us now think about the pectoral.